Anyway, to find out more rather about the attention economy, let's now connect with certified financial planner Stefani Adi. Good morning, Stefani.
Hi.
Good morning, Paul. Hi,
Good
morning,
morning.
Janice.
Hi, Stephanie. All right. Stephanie, I'm very unfamiliar with the term, but can you elaborate more on attention economy? What is it about?
Okay, so first we have to understand that economics actually explain how supply and demand works in scarcity of resources, right? And as we have always discussed before, previously we have scarcity of agricultural, and then we have scarcity of labor, but now we have the scarcity of attention. We know that our attention is limited, right? We know that we can only pay attention to a certain task and focus on it, and then it consumes our mental bandwidth as well, right? And if we try to multitask, it became a problem because we cannot achieve like optimal result if we try to multitask, right? So this is how we try to create the term like attention economy, and it's actually the first time it is coined is by Herbert A. Simon, which he is an economist and also a Nobel Prize winner, and he coined the terms attention economy. And also that you already mentioned as well from Michael Goldhaber in 1997, when he also strengthened the opinion that attention economy is actually shifting before, like previously we have multiple jobs, we have economy run on industrial economy, right? But then after that, there are more and more jobs related to the information. We know that information is abundant, but then it is not necessarily popular called information economy. It is more on attention economy because the attention itself that is scarce.
Right, so information would be of no value if no one was paying attention to it. So I agree that this attention economy, I mean, our attention does hold value. But how do we measure such value? I mean, is everyone's attention worth the same? And how do we basically put any sort of unit or measure of value on it?
Yeah, that is a very good question. So if we try to measure our attention, right, we have metrics such as reach, impression, and then also like, comments, and shares, right? Yeah, those metrics are used by the platforms and also by the brands to measure their whether their campaigns are successful or not, whether their targets are correct or not, right? So previously, those companies, those brands use above the line marketing, which we already know, like we have billboards on the streets, we have printed ads on the newspaper perhaps, and we have commercial TV ads. Those kind of platforms, those kind of promotional media are above the line, which means that we cannot really track how many reach, how many targets achieved, right? How many likes, how many conversion that we can get, how many clicks that we can get. But now we have this thing called social media, and we have a lot of ads there as well. So we can really track those metrics, and that's how attention become measurable, right, in this attention economy.
So it's safe to say that this only really became a thing when social media started playing a larger part in our lives.
That's correct.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Now you're thinking about all the things that you're paying attention to. I wonder what I've been looking at the last.
I wonder the last time I clicked something, and I wonder about the algorithm. Does algorithm play part in this attention economy?
Yeah, of course. So this is how it gets interesting, right? If we see before, like on the early 2000s, perhaps, we are familiar with the platform, the older platform, which is like MySpace, Friendster, right? We might be familiar with those platforms. And those platforms were used as a tool to socially network with other people.
Right.
So for example, like we try to engage with friends or families or relatives that living abroad or living quite far from us, and then we can actually exchange news, give some updates, and then share photos, share videos. Those are a tool back then, right? And then when we understand a tool, for example, like we say a hammer, we use hammer to fix things in our house. And then after we finish fixing the thing, we put our hammer back on the toolbox. But then hammer doesn't keep knocking on the box and then ask for us to, hey, use me again, right? It's a tool. Yeah, it's a passive tool. But then on social media, we have algorithm, we have AI, we have push notification that keeps on begging us to, hey, use me again. Hey, see, there's a new photos that need you to check, right? So these kind of new addictive tools, I might say, it plays with our psychological to gain our attention and also to induce our fear of missing out, right? You might miss out this, so you need to check, right? So yeah, of course, those algorithms, those notification plays a huge part in engaging us as the consumer.
So who are some of the major players in this attention economy right now? We obviously know social media is the biggest platform, but who are some of the major players in this game?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So I did some research here, and based on the report from buffer.com, Facebook is still the biggest right now with 2.9 billion MAUs. MAUs meaning monthly active users. So how big is that? Well, to put into context, we have 7.7 billion people in the world population right now. So 2.9 billion is actually 37% or a third of the world population is using Facebook. Now that's big, right? Yeah. And after Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have WhatsApp, which like most of them are belong to the same parent company, Meta. And also we have the newest one like TikTok and also all the Chinese platform closed environment. Those are also quite big.
Oh, yeah, no surprise there. By the way, I'm not even an active Facebook user anymore, so I'm part of them. I feel like I'm part of the minority these days.
Me too, but I'm an active Instagram user, so I really want to know, my engagement has already gone down so much.
Just for today.
Just for today. But I really want to know, Stefani, what impact has engagement brought to the economic ecosystem nowadays? Are there any benefits of it?
Yes. Thank you, Sanesh, for the question. Well, the engagement is actually part of how we measure, like we discussed before, right? So how we measure the attention in the economy itself. And we also have several implementation or several derivatives of the attention economy. So for one, we have the ads. That's the original model inside the attention economy itself. And then we also have search engine marketing. So we can bid through certain keywords to have our website put on the top search result, right, on the Google. So yeah, that's also how we get attention from the people searching certain keywords. That's the second one. And then we also have influencer marketing. So for certain individuals with large base of followers, they can promote, they can receive endorsement from a company or brand to target the audience that are relevant to the product itself. So it is beneficial for certain individuals, for famous people especially. And also the fourth one, we also have fan economy. This is where it gets interesting, right? So yeah, how do we get a steady source of attention, right? So how do we do that? So we convert someone from just a general people into a loyal fan. That's how you can get a guaranteed supply of like, right? Share, save, and then purchase perhaps. They also influence the behavior of purchasing. So this is quite interesting. And the perfect example for this is like K-pop idol, for example, and their fans. So whenever a K-pop idol group or singer release a new music video on YouTube, we can guarantee that for the next couple of hours, there are millions of views already there, right? because their friends is like very loyal and very engaging with the content itself. And it's not just the metrics. It's not just the metrics. It also translates into sales. The albums being purchased, the merchandise, right? Like the photo cards, the photo books. There's a lot of kinds of merchandise there, and it is really, really beneficial for the artist management. So, well, yeah, fan economy is actually a really good example of how attention economy being maximized.
Right. Well, Shanaz knows all about that. She's the queen of Instagram endorsements.
I know you know about that.
But that's for somebody on a business perspective. How
My friends are your fans.
Okay. How for somebody like Shanaz or others can use attention economy to benefit themselves, either as a business or as somebody who is an influencer who is famous. But let's take someone like me who is just a consumer. Now I know my attention is of value. How do I take control of that value? For example, I do find myself sometimes victim to the algorithm. I'll end up clicking ads that were popped up in front of me because I was talking about it an hour ago. I don't know, Instagram knows. But how do I take control of my attention economy as a consumer?
All right. Well, as a consumer, of course, the step that we first have to do is that we have to acknowledge that we are actually part of the game, right? We are part of the system itself, and by understanding how the game works, by understanding how the system works, it makes us realize, okay, we are actually in this part already, and it is up to us to create boundaries and to create sense of self-discipline to establish, okay, this is the limit that I want to give, right? So this is the limit that I want to give. I want to use social media for this time only, like for example, after work or at night before bed or something like that. So we actively try to put limit to ourselves and try to being mindful, just not being mindlessly scrolling down and consuming the content itself, right? So the first step to do is, I think that is the way. So being mindful really helps. And the second one, we can also actually take part and being a part of the economy, attention economy itself. Like for example, being an influencer or being a content creator, that's how you actually gain something from the economy.
That's what I've been saying to Paul this time.
Yeah, agree. Actually, that's some good points there as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I usually set my boundaries is when my e-wallet balance runs out. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm done. No more shopping. Anyway, Stephanie, thank you so much for your time this morning.